Well,
have you ever seen the footage that they so-called shot on the moon?
Yeah, I've heard the questions. The shadow and the wind and the
Stanley Kubrick.
What? Oh, he's a director.
Yeah.
Right. And what about Stanley Kubrick?
Yeah, he's the director of it. You know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It's so okay. Well, let me ask.
There was a special way that they shot it with 2 screens.
Yeah.
And a fashion that he did with some movies for like
Shining, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But it was a certain way he did it too.
What did that do?
I don't know. It made the background look more realistic.
Oh.
Of it.
In The Shining, there's different points in it where they give you clues that he did the moon landing. Like
no!
Yeah, seriously. Like he's wearing a he's wearing a rocket ship. The boy is.
Oh yeah.
And he's going to a particular room. He's trying to find a particular room or whatever. Yeah. And that room, I think, is the stage set or like where they shot the moon landing and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, if you type in Shining moon landing,
well, I'm gonna have to do that when I get home, man.
Find it. Yeah.
Thanks for making my trip around the lake interesting.
Hey, no, I appreciate you stopping by. We'll be here all summer. So. But the most important thing is you've never been to the moon.
No,
right?
Well, I don't know.
Well, I know. I've done some psychedelics myself, so I know what you're talking about.
Musk is like SpaceX.
Yeah.
How you get that up there? You just let it blow up. Wait a minute.
Well, it's to create like the idea of it being so dangerous to do space travel, so that they have, like the Challenger, for example. That has to be a spectacle where everybody, like children, are watching it, for example, because when you were in school, you were told to come into the room. Look, everybody, there's this teacher, just a regular teacher, going with all these astronauts, and it was like this big deal. So you'd bring all the children into the classroom, and they'd wheel, just like on 9/11, they wheel in the TV, and then there you like watch it, and then it explodes, and then everybody is horrified. But the purpose of it is to show how dangerous and like risky, quote, it is to do this, and that's why they retired the space shuttle, I think, after that or recently after that. So now they just use CGI because that's more realistic.
How are they getting all this? It's amazing how they get all this thing on technology. They have to somehow movie screen this stuff.
Oh yeah. Green screens, augmented reality. Like they don't even use real fire in movies nowadays. Like if you just watch like
Fire Country,
some of these movies nowadays, they use fake fire. So if a building's on fire, it's not really on fire, it's just CGI fire. It's not even real. Literally, the only thing that's real, if you want to call it real, I guess, is the people that are acting in the movie.
It's like the way they program us as a society. It's so embarrassing.
Yeah. But people are easily entertained.
I'll be entertained in some sports, yeah.
I'll watch basketball later tonight.
Yeah.
But I know it's rigged. I know that the outcome is they're foreseeing. It's just like watching wrestling. It's like, well, they know who's going to win in the wrestling match. But it's fun to watch the drama and the different stories that are, combined with it and everything.
Because wrestling, you're supposed to tell stories.
Yeah, like it's a soap opera.
That's what AEW has a hard time doing.
Yeah.
Because they don't...
Hey, laughter's the best medicine. You're cured in one day. Look at that.
It's like AEW. I love AEW. I'll watch it. But the lack of stories.
Yeah.
They don't tell stories.
Right.
You get me the arrivals I need. You gotta tell her, oh, this sweetie pie beat this day. That's a story.
Yeah, they are.
That's like
What's up, Jer? Patty. What's going on, chat? We're here. We're live at the lake. It is actually happening. May the 4th be with you. Outer space is a hoax. If you think Star Trek and Star Wars are documentaries,
they had to program that Star Trek, like that Star Trek Deep Space Nine, when you go back and relook at it, and I started listening to what you've been talking about. They have to script a lot of that stuff.
Oh yeah.
They have to, because that's not possible for. Just to see it when I was younger, but like you get older, you watch.
Well, it's like with the old 50s sci-fi movies and the early 60s sci-fi movies are great because they talk about it, outer space and planets and everything, like, oh, you know, if we go here and if we do that, then this. So it's like always this if, then that, because they're assuming that if we do this, we will find aliens or we will find more resources or whatever. So it's not even like, hey, if we do this, maybe we'll find her. You know, we might have to look or, you know, spend all these different resources and money to get to this certain point, and then from there we can kind of piggyback off of that, and then so on and so on. But they're just like, the whole point of the 50s and 60s sci-fi movies were to get you ready for the fake movement. That was the whole point.
That was predictive.
Yeah, it was totally predictive programming. Yep.
Because they had to, and that's what we have to understand. I kind of realized like how much brainwashing it is so bad.
Yeah. Yep.
I've done conspiracies like politics wise, but the last few years you've been teaching me a little bit of ropes that you're making me think, okay, I believe you forever, but the programming, that's real. That's a real shit.
It's very coincidental.
It's so bad. It's
like the Simpsons and Family Guy stuff. Like how like Robin Williams and what's his face? Was it Chris Cornell and Robin Williams on Family Guy? Before they allegedly killed themselves, they showed an episode of them dying. Or no, it was that guy from.
Look at 9/11. Look at 9/11.
That car racing show movie with Vin Diesel. Yeah, 9/11 was programming from decades before.
That Simpsons and the X-Files.
Yep, X-Files. Yeah, it's everywhere.
The programming is so it's so real.
It's thick.
It's so real, and it's
very dense. They layer it on there real thick, like mayonnaise. Hey, thanks. Yeah, we got our hairs cut on Monday, the day before my birthday. Happy birthday, Patty.
So you have... Now, I've heard things like, look at how so fake the shootings are.
Oh yeah, that one guy did that thing when he was told to stop firing his gun at 11 o'clock. How you doing? Hey, good, thanks.
You know, when people say there's real bodies, and I see what the concern is, because they're not even showing you the cast list. They're not showing you the cast list.
Nope.
What are you guys doing?
Oh, just, you know, chatting it up, challenging people's perspective on reality.
So what do you guys want to do?
Well, you know, when you were taught at a really young age, you were taught that you live on a globe.
Right.
Right. So you were also taught Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and all these other stories when you were a child. So as a child, we develop, like, you know,
What you were taught.
comfort
Right.
in that, because that's what we were taught by adults. So we trust them. And so we're like, okay, so then you're 9, 10 years old, you find out Santa Claus isn't real, right? And then you're like, oh, okay, well, that sucks. But then you kind of carry on with the world, and you don't like look at any other things that might be wrong with the world, because you just believe authority.
Right. Okay, so what is your program? What do you guys do?
Well, we're just trying to, you know, raise awareness that not everybody believes or thinks the same way everybody else here at the park does. You know? Yeah, and so I placed these memes on the sidewalk here, kind of to display that this is how I kind of view reality. And if most people are on Instagram or Facebook, they're not going to see me or what I post, because they don't have the same ideas or thought as I do. So they're not going to be flooded with information like me on their feed. They're just going to get cat videos or dog videos and, you know, fail videos. And so I come out to the public since 2017 to share my perspective.
You want to show people there is another side of what we are taught.
Yeah.
I know that. A lot of people know that.
Yeah. But what I know is that when water is contained behind us by the shoreline, it lays level and flat.
Yeah.
And so if that's true, then that means all the water here is contained and level and flat, and Earth is not a ball. It's impossible. And the only way that they work that around and trick your mind is, say, gravity. Gravity this, gravity does that. Gravity can make water stick to a ball. But I've never seen that in reality.
But the Earth is flat.
It is flat, yeah.
Okay.
And outer space is a hoax. It's not real. Nobody's ever been to outer space. It's just movies and TV.
So what is the stuff that they're showing us that we're out on the moon and all that stuff?
It's all fake. It's called propaganda. You know what propaganda is, right?
Predictive programming, neurologic.
They do things 20 years in advance to get your mind juiced up and ready to go, and then they give you the event all of a sudden.
Right.
We were just talking about in the 50s and 60s, they made all these science fiction movies about landing on Mars and stuff. Yeah, I got it on me. I'm on Facebook.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Live?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and we like to, bring the stuff that we talk about with my friends and things like that out to the public, and we just chill out, like anybody else, but we bring ideas because I feel like, most people don't talk and communicate very well nowadays. I think that most children nowadays would rather communicate even face-to-face through text messaging.
Right, it is bad. You have to give them time to just get out because they don't want to work harder. Like growing up our time and stuff.
Well, that's just it, and that's what it goes back to. Is like I believe the same thing everybody else did, but then 2017, 2015 came around, boom, a new idea came in that outer space isn't real and the Earth is flat, and so you have to be patient with people, and you have to allow them to get used to the idea or like get familiar with somebody talking about the idea. But most people don't want to put in the energy to look up numbers, to look up research, and to look up all these things. Like, this is all the research, and I got more in my head and on my phone than I just share here because I took the time and effort into wanting to know things.
You have to get someone who had the same idea and concept as you to come and look at this. People that walk by, they don't know what is around you, the weather, global warming, and so they don't know all that stuff. They look at you and go, what are you guys doing? You guys just wasted time.
Yeah.
But people like you and other people who understand what is behind it. Some people do care, some people don't care. But the most important thing is that you have to care because when shit does go down, then you don't know where it came from. And you started blaming everybody else, right?
Yeah.
Because they're not, I don't think it matters to them to look at yourself and say, you know what, I don't even care anymore.
No.
Until it happens. Just like everything else. So it's like, I know World War III is coming. It's just a matter of when.
Well, they give us the movies about World War III and this society collapsing.
Right,
so
right.
it's inevitable.
Right, and
you
and I both know who's behind it, and stuff like that. So
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to educate people, that's fine. But people want to come listen to you guys.
Yeah, no big deal. I mean, that's the thing is like, I don't come out here to make money. I don't come out here to get notoriety because I get laughed and mocked and ridiculed. Why would anybody want that? Right. So I just come out here like anybody else because I feel like this is something I'm led to do.
Right.
I feel like this is important to me.
Right.
And if it's important to me, I have 10 fingers and 10 toes.
Right.
Why wouldn't it maybe be important to somebody else who's I'm just fishing.
Right.
And this is like, I'm just throwing out a lure. Anybody who's interested. But, the thing about it is that I've been doing this here at this particular lake, Comus and Harriet, for like 5 years. So, I mean, if they see the same person over and over again, they might not talk to me the first day. Because him, Miles and I were here yesterday. Same people walk by today. Might not talk to me yesterday, but maybe in June, they might want to say something.
So what do you want to see out of all this if you want people to pay attention to you? What do you want to send a message? What do you want them to do on their part?
Look into it.
Yeah.
Look into it.
Think for yourself. That's really the biggest thing is like if you ask most children nowadays where does chicken or cows come from, they'll say Wendy's or Chick-fil-A.
Right,
or the grocery store. But when you were talking about when the S hits the fan and then they have to forage for food and gut an animal and all this other stuff like our ancestors did back in the day, then that's when it gets really, dicey.
Right. That's why it's
people.
important for parents to teach the kids how to do gardening, because I garden too.
Okay, yeah.
So in case, well, there's going to be a shortage of food. How are you going to get that? Go to the store. They don't have
Oh,
it.
look at the example when you talk about shortage of food. Look at all these things blowing up. You're not seeing no cameras. They're not even showing you the recorders that they don't have. They don't even show any of that, like the Nile 1 tapes.
You know why? Because the big boss can't let them do it.
No.
Somebody else was behind them. That's the reason why. And I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I'm not into politics, but I know a little bit about things here and there.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the reason why. All the news people, they don't. You recording this, they don't know who I am,
Right.
which is fine.
Yeah.
All the news people that came out, in order for the news person to give an okay to say what they want, the boss had to okay, and somebody else was above their boss had to give it okay because they could,
Hey, thanks a lot. Thanks.
and they would get in trouble.
Thanks, you too. We'll see you around.
Yeah, so they would get in trouble. That's the reason why. It's something you cannot say on TV.
No. Well, and that's just it. Like, they do things in cycle. You know, the Janet Jackson thing back in the day with the Super Bowl and Justin Timberlake. That's when they were able to, you know, have a reason to say, oh, we want 5-10 second delays on live TV.
Right.
So that then we can control live TV so we don't allow anything that we don't prescribe. Everybody reads from a teleprompter. Nobody can go off script. Nobody can have their own independent thought.
Of course, they control. How do you think everybody get paid with all the internet and all the games
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything else? The kids. So, if the parents, like I'm a parent, you know, parent too. So, if the parents does not teach the kids now how to do basic thing like wash dishes after yourself,
I know.
you know, or clean up after yourself,
Yeah.
or clean your room, the parents gonna put it in because the kids can act like they have tantrum, and then you let them do what they want,
Yeah.
or they want to play a game or Roblox example.
Yeah.
You have to go buy Roblox card for them to go play game.
Yeah.
And all the time, they're not gonna know how to do anything.
No, they're
And
not.
They don't want to work because parents is handing them the money. Why? Not everybody's rich. A lot of people, you know, are not rich. They have to work for their money.
Smiling. Hey, laughter's the best medicine.
Yeah, so they have to just teach their kids that. And I feel sad that everybody's always on their phone, and when they go out and eat, they don't really talk to each other. They just play
No.
with their phone, and
Yeah.
it's like, why have you been here? Even sometimes when I'm eating with friends too, she does that too. Like, why have you been here?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
what-
and I was at an event earlier today. There were some people on the phone, but most of us, we was just talking, and I was just engaging with them in technology and stuff. And I was like talking about AI, talking about what you do with these specific
Right,
issues.
right.
It's like that was the only place where I could literally talk to tech professionals, because those people, that's why I have my own brands. It's only me and enterprises, is what I have. That's a black tech thing for black tech professionals and entrepreneurs. The way I like to do it is get people to be engaged, our community, get them engaged, and understand you're the adult. You gotta teach these children.
Yeah, but you know, if you're supposed to teach the children, but if the children runs the house,
Yeah.
then you can't really do nothing. As parents, it's really weak.
Exactly, and this is another issue that we also have to discuss. The people out there that understand, when you go make, if you say you want a family, what standards are you setting? What standard are you going to set?
Right.
And then you also have to ask them, okay, are the parents talking to the couples? And then, okay, you know that you have a child here, you're going to have sex, you're going to procreate. You know, when you have that child, you got to be accountable. It's not like my sister's learned some things and doing stuff. Now I have a nephew.
Hey, there you go. Laughter's the best medicine, bro. He's laughing.
And
Hey, at least you're laughing. That's all that matters, man.
and one with my sister.
Yeah, then it's like, yeah, they have to teach them. They don't want to take that. That's nothing we can do.
No.
And that's
Well, the
that's-
government doesn't want parents to raise their children. The government wants children to be run by the television and the ideals on the television in
Because they get
school.
paid or everything else.
Oh yeah, because look at all the children. You were saying children run the household. Well, now children can determine A or B when they're born nowadays. You know, so if a child says they want to be A and they're B, then what's the parent supposed to do?
Yeah.
And if that's starting in the household with children at a young age, giving children some kind of parental authority or an adult
and that's what they're trying to do
responsibilities,
with the law.
then society will go flip upside down.
Yeah, the parents would have to do that. And it's hard. It's hard to say because a lot of them don't do that. I see a lot of, like Like, I'll go to the grocery store or even shopping, and I'll see kids like crying constantly.
Oh, yeah.
Like, old friends, I'm like, yo, mom, take him outside, he's embarrassing. They're not gonna do that because the kids is out of control, right?
Oh yeah, well, you know, between me, you, and Facepalm, the reason why children are so out of control is because they get V'd up when they're born.
Want to chat about it?
V'd up.
Want to chat about it?
V'd up. That's why.
Is that right?
Oh yeah.
How high do you have
'Cause
to be?
It changes
from
your
Earth?
molecular
How high do you
structure
think
right
you
when you're
have to be
born.
from Earth
Right, when
to
you're-
see curvature?
You shouldn't be getting those things when you're young, that young.
How high?
Within 18
If you
months,
had
you
to
get
estimate.
now you get one every 6 months because of the C word from the last 3
Right, right.
years.
Kids are too young
So,
to be with that.
No, they shouldn't. You
much
should let their
water?
immune system develop naturally.
And how
It's
high?
You know?
it's about, and then also you don't even let them. You keep the kids in the house. They're all like
What if-
going out of
okay,
hand
so the
during
tallest-
COVID.
one of the tallest
All the
towers
proficiencies
in
going down.
Chicago.
All of it. There was a report from the Starship being like all of them can't see. Everybody's like,
14.
like
That's,
wait a minute, how are these kids so proficient?
that is
Oh, that's right. We know what we
140,
did.
400,000.
Well, video chatting has increased over the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So there's more video chatting. The idea of putting, VR glasses and Oculus on your head to learn now, like you can virtually go to school. You don't even have to leave the house.
Yeah.
These are things that the government would love to have people do. Is just sit in your house, collect $1,500 a month, eat and do what we say.
The curvature of the
Yeah,
Earth.
you need a human need interaction with another human. We're not robots.
So
You need
you can't
mentally
predict
it's
the
not
curvature
okay. They need to be
of
out
Earth,
like
even
something
like
like
this,
this.
yeah.
They need
that
to have
scientists claim.
people to talk to. What if they're not comfortable talking to their parents? They
Right.
could talk to their
Can't prove
friends
it.
and neighbors. Because certain things at home, if it's good or bad, you can't talk about it.
Look at
Especially
how flat.
the only resource you
So
have is
if you
at
look
home
how
and you don't feel
water-
safe. You know what I mean? I'm talking about people who's been abused or,
Yep.
sexual assault.
That
You
was-
know,
You got domestic violence going on.
right.
Also-
And
That's
they can't talk to people. And
No.
it's not safe to be talking to
throughout
the people going to know and the abuse is
every
going on.
lake
It's a lot
and
going on. I could go
Yeah,
on and
I
on.
know it.
But anyway,
I know
thank
it.
you for
Hey,
doing
thanks so much for
Check
stopping
it out.
by.
Yeah, no
you're
problem.
fine. We'll see you.
Oceans,
If you're
Yeah,
going
I'll
to be out
be-
here, we'll be around.
Yeah,
and they're totally flat.
Yeah.
But today is sunny. I have to go.
Water's
Okay.
I have to
fine
go.
this level.
Yeah. Take care. Okay?
Hey, thanks.
Thank
You too.
Take care.
Yeah, enjoy the night.
That's what it is. It's like sometimes
You
we
put
have to
that
talk a little
sort of
things like that.
thing
It's like,
in the back of your head.
and I was
Think
just
about how
telling you,
can't
we
see
gotta
curvature,
start
as
encouraging
well
our kids to be
as
outside. This is
just
so
realizing,
foul
yeah,
and inappropriate.
that
There's
it all comes together.
there's no
and
reason
that the
we should.
Hey,
ball
look at them smiling.
floating in space.
You guys believe in the globe because you were taught it, not because you were there.
So,
Have a nice day.
for
Yep, it's a belief. Have a nice day.
Yep.
You'll never do it.
Yeah, good.
Or have you
Respect
heard of
someone's
the
opinion.
level Earth for-
They'll never do anything that they believe. It's funny to me. So.
He's never heard about it.
Oh, really? No, never heard about it.
That's
Yeah,
okay, but
Most people, think that. Where's my meme at?
You just see NASA all
That's
the
flat
time.
Earth. Oh, here she goes. It's windy out. Thanks, bro.
You just see a picture from NASA.
But yeah, look at this. These are all the different images of Earth from space that they've given us.
Yep.
So why is it that all the continents are different sizes? Look at this. Like that's that size. No, Africa's that size.
No.
Weird. Like this one here. 1927. They were already predictively programming people through Universal Studios. Before every movie, they would show a spinning globe.
The spinning globe. Yep. You're right.
That's programmed.
Yep.
So then,
That's not a real picture, that's-
in 1969, guess
Yeah.
what they did? They landed on the moon. The whole purpose of that was to fake the globe, so that they could say, "We landed on the moon. Here, we saw it."
But they say they landed on
So
the
you
moon
mean they
just...
didn't land it in the moon?
No, of course not. No, it's
I guess
impossible.
because Russia, they wanna confess that Russia they went to the moon.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, those are prophets.
Yeah.
Those are false prophets.
Exactly.
Anybody who claims to do something that I can't do myself
Yeah.
is a false prophet.
Exactly, yeah.
So, and that's just a type of, like reading the Bible, reading the Quran, reading any other spiritual type of
Spiritual
book.
type books, yep.
They're going to have people that are good and then people that are evil. Now, whether those types of people are like types of in that book, like whatever it was at the time, that's what they use as an example. But now it's China, America, Japan. They all landed on the moon, right? No, they're all prophets.
For their own purposes they landed, but they're telling us that all the the planets, right?
Yeah.
They're all like curvature,
Yeah, no, I I totally get that, and I hear where you're coming from because I learned the same thing growing up. I'm no different than you. I just investigated this information.
Research,
What about the satellite, Dad?
No, satellites aren't real, bro. So here's what's this right here?
That's a tower. That's a tower or
Well, does it look like a satellite?
no.
It doesn't. This doesn't look like a satellite. No. Well, it's on the ground. I mean, it's got solar panels and everything. So what does that look like?
This is satellite.
So that's a satellite.
Yep.
But what does it look like?
It's like couple, like just,
Be honest with yourself. What does it look like?
it just look like
What does it look like?
equipment that came together like they just
It looks like a cartoon.
right.
That's the thing. Don't try to look at, well, this is a cartoon, bro.
That's not a real satellite.
No, this isn't real.
It's not even there.
No. Who took a picture of the satellite?
You're right. Who took it?
No, this is
You gotta think.
before they
Like,
send the
this is how I'm trying to help you
satellite.
think, bro. Like, you see what
Why
I'm
is it not
saying?
falling? Why is it?
Yeah,
stuck
why is
there?
it not? See, look at this. This is a satellite, but it's on the ground. Looks pretty realistic, because it probably is. But it gets hooked up to a high altitude balloon. And then it floats 60,000 feet from the ground.
Like I said,
Perpetually. For 20 years. They have batteries that can last for over 20 years and have a high altitude balloon. And that's where you get your, Elon Musk has like satellite TV, right?
Yeah.
That's what they do.
That's Starlink?
Starlink.
Starlink?
Here,
It's
not
just
there.
high altitude balloons
Yeah, that's
connected to
Starlink.
ground
There's a
towers.
ground tower, not there.
And no, not in outer space. No, man.
Yeah.
It's all deception.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, Josh, it's like Elon Musk with that Starlink.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what he's doing in Ukraine.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
And it's
all-
great to have internet, if that's what you want to do, communicate with your family, search the web or whatever, look up conspiracy
But it
theories.
should not be weaponized and used it for like and that's how scams get out of hand.
Mhm.
They're getting people to like, oh, give up all this, give up like, oh, wait.
yeah.
It's like
Give up your
because they don't want to get caught.
What about the sources that they said they like in the future they might like people gonna live on the moon or
Yeah, nobody's doing it.
that's a lie, right?
Well, the thing about it is
They said they found water in the moon.
well, think about it like this. I'm not doing anything.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna go home later tonight and watch the basketball game.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Just like everybody else is going to be doing something and they got to go to sleep and go to work tomorrow. Nobody's doing anything.
Right.
Okay? So they can read that people are landing on the moon. They can read that people are putting stuff on Mars. But guess what? They're not doing anything. They have to believe. That's all it is. It's just another type of faith that they're putting in. People put faith in the Bible, people put faith in the Quran, people put faith in other spiritual books, and people put faith in school books that they learned in school. And it's no different because nobody's doing any of those things that they were taught in
They're
school.
just saying it just to make you believe.
Yeah, and all you're doing is regurgitating information onto a piece of paper that you remember. Good for you. You have a better memory than me, bro.
Yeah.
Nice work. But now you're just getting more indoctrinated into the system. You're the one that's, getting programmed, and now you're walking by the lake laughing at me because I think the earth is flat, but you've never seen earth from this perspective before. And they never will, but they believe somebody
So you
did.
believe there is another Earth after that Antarctica?
Maybe. I mean, there could be a type of something like this.
Okay, so
Or-
we say we
which is
are in
fascinating.
the square and there is another
Or
Could
land.
be.
Or people guys believe what they believe, like the regular Earth.
Yeah.
I might believe
From
some of it,
ancient,
but I
ancient civilization,
Or-
the center of North
or-
Pole.
But
Or-
why nobody can cross that wall?
Exactly.
that's a great.
They reach the moon. They didn't.
Yeah.
They cannot cross.
They
that.
won't let me, you, or us. If we all wanted to get a boat and we wanted to take a boat and go sail down here, they got high altitude balloons to make sure nobody travels down here, and then they come and stop you. And they will shoot to kill if you continue to go further down because they want control. It's like this movie, The Truman Show with Jim Carrey. Check it out. It's very profound.
What you call it?
The Truman Show with Jim Carrey.
We're gonna
Is it on
do
Netflix?
after.
Or?
Yeah, it's on anything. You can
What,
probably watch it
what
for
about
free
the
on
flight
YouTube.
that's going from Japan, other side to the United States, and we can go from both sides?
Yeah, so let me show you here, for example. So what you're going to do is you're going to leave LAX,
Television.
and then you're going to go to Alaska, then you're going to go to India, then you're going to go to South Africa, South America, and now you're back. That's all you're doing. Is you're just doing it. And the quickest way between 2 points is a straight line,
What
right?
channel?
So no, Middle East.
Yep, Middle East, yep.
On television.
We're gonna go United States.
Yeah, you just whoop, whoop. That's all you're doing. Nobody flies directly over the North Pole. Nobody does that. They're all connecting flights. And they're all just straight lines because you know the quickest way between 2 points is a straight line, and they want to conserve as much
So, for example,
fuel as they
if you're
can.
coming from South United States, why you have to cross all up? You can go on straight like this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
definitely, yeah.
You can do one-way flight if
best
you want.
medicine.
Just like you can do a one-way flight this way. But anybody who says the Santiago, Chile to Alaska type of bit, this is a huge argument for globe and flat Earth. They say, okay, well, there's no direct flights. Well, there is, and they go from here to LAX to here. That's what they do. Or else they can go direct flight. It's like $20,000 or whatever.
Is it Australia?
Yeah, this is Australia right here. Yep. So you just do this, LAX or Chicago, whichever one they tell you to, and you can Google it yourself. There's 2 connecting flights, and there you go. It's all a straight line, man. So, hey, check out this app right there, and you can learn some more information on flat Earth. Man. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you around. Is that your ID?
Oh, that's mine.
Oh, hey.
I see you.
Yeah. We'll see you around, guys.
But one thing, it's very interesting how you just talked about this. Like, you're talking about the Earth. You can't get a direct. That's interesting.
Yeah, you got to spend like $15,000.
And that's a good thing you're making me think, Josh. Because this is really some scheming. You scheming.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's really
They're
sick.
slimy.
It's not even. Just look at the banking thing. Look at all these banks collapsing. Look at all these banks that collapsing. Like how you get like all these credit default swaps, all this stuff going on. I'm not even smarter than finances, but like how are people saying your money is safe in these banks?
I know.
They're not.
They're just trading it out. That's all they're doing is just trading.
But you got Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America.
Oh yeah, so I just found out that Michigan, I guess, for example, dispensaries can't put their money into FDIC banks or something like that. So there's this new bank that's come out, or this new way to transaction money or cash or whatever. I guess I didn't really look into it much, but there's like this. Hey, what's up, man?
I just want to pass you guys.
Hey, cool. Are you a origami champion or something?
Origami Angel? No, it's a band.
Oh, okay. Right.
Oh, I just wanted to hear the explanation of a flat Earth.
Yeah. Well, just to start, I grew up just like you here in America. I believe the Earth was a globe and everything. And in 2015, in the fall, somebody introduced me to the idea. And kind of one of the most profound things for me is that water, when contained and when it's at rest, lays level and flat at the surface. Okay, and when the sun is traveling further away from us, have you ever seen a sunset on the ocean before?
Yeah.
Okay, so that sun ray, as it's traveling further away from you at the horizon, that sun ray comes all the way up to your feet. Is that fair enough to say?
Yeah.
So for him, for me, for you, we all have our specific sun ray, and it comes all the way up to our feet. But if the Earth were a globe, for example, and that water did curve, that sun ray wouldn't come all the way up to our feet. So that's something to think about in your head, because I know we can do these thought experiments in our head with things like that.
Yeah.
But it's difficult to do thought experiments of traveling to Mars, things like that.
Yeah.
And so for water, for me, was kind of the clincher, because water, for example, when contained, lays level and flat when at rest. And so the only way that they can trick our minds, especially when we're younger, is gravity. And say that water can conform to the exterior of a shape. You just can't see it, believe us, because we went to outer space and saw the globe.
Yeah.
And
How does gravity work then?
Well, for me, from kind of what I've explored and about flat Earth, is the environment has an electrostatic to it, has some kind of electricity in the air, and it's also about buoyancy and density. So things that are lighter float up, and things that are more dense sink. Just like when you put oil into a glass with water. Give it like 15 minutes or so, that water and oil are going to separate. And if you keep doing that with different fluids, you're going to see that each fluid in each thing has its own equilibrium. And so when water or a liquid is contained, it's always going to lay level and flat. And so for me, I feel that the Earth goes on infinitely like this table, and this is just the particular point of Earth. And so the sun basically does a circumnavigation across our flat Earth. So as it's circumnavigating, and the sun right now, for example, at noon, is going to be almost above us, like right here. And then it just treks like this. And as it becomes more summer, it's going to be directly above us. And then keep doing this.
What's at the edge then?
I mean, I've never been there, right? So I can only give you my idea. Well, this is Antarctica.
Yeah.
And so they have a certain treaty that they created in the late 50s called the Antarctic Treaty, which isn't up for debate until 2045. So we can't even talk about why we can't go to Antarctica, the four of us. And so they've created it basically as like a national treasure where you have to go there and be supervised. We can't do free exploration down here. And so what I think they could be possibly doing is one of these right here, is hiding more land from us and more resources. So these are your planets.
Yeah.
These are the land formations that they call planets, but then they just so happen to be, you know, more land. Because that's what extraterrestrial means, extra terrain. So when they say, hey, aliens who are extraterrestrial, well, this is what they mean. They teach us outer space. But if, you know, we're all together here, we're friends, this is outer space. Get it?
Yeah. So, for this explanation, how does the sun work?
I think that the sun is an apparition from the light that's behind it.
So what does that entail?
Well, basically that the entire blue sky that we see, there's a light.
Look at those.
Because outer space, in my opinion, I know it's really aggressive, but outer space is a hoax. So you can't have two separate pressure systems next to each other without a solid barrier. So like your water cup or any kind of gas or whatever, that gas has to be contained, otherwise it goes crazy. Fair enough? Okay, so if we have a plastic cube that we make in our minds, and we have it, and we sealed it up, now the pressure inside the cube is the same as the outside. Fair enough? We drill it, we put a hose to it, and we suck out all the air inside that cube, and now we seal it up. Is it fair enough to say that the pressure inside is different from the outside air?
Yeah.
Okay? So how do we get inside or outside of it? Magic?
Yeah. But like, what is like the? We see the sun as a circle.
Yeah.
The sun goes like around the top, within where we are. It's not.
It's within sight.
Somewhere out, way out
Yeah.
there without us.
Let's even say it's 100 miles away.
So like, what is that thing going around in the circle? How does that work?
Well, it's the same size as the moon, so that's something to think about.
Yeah.
So the sun is the masculine and the moon is the feminine.
Okay.
The sun gives heat when you're in it, and when you're in the shade, you're not as hot.
Yeah.
The moon, when it's full, gives cool light, and when you're in the shade, you're warmer. And you can do this test yourself. You can get a laser thermometer and do these tests.
But like,
They've been
what
done.
is this? How does it go like around in a circle?
Probably like a filament, like a toroidal field. You know what I understand? So like the North Pole is the mechanism of which the sun and the moon operate. And so whether the sun goes like this and comes back down, or it has a relationship where it's spinning really fast on the outside, and then it slows down when it gets here, and then it spins really fast, and it keeps doing that. That's all it does.
But like,
forever.
what is bringing it in that circle?
Some kind of a magnetic force, which is in the North Pole.
But then wouldn't it come down to Earth?
No, because it has a relationship with this particular environment that we're in. You know, it's not going to fall. It's not what we're taught in school. It's not 93 million miles away. It's not 400 times larger than the Earth or anything, whatever that they say. 400 times further away.
You guys
You
interested
can fit
in talking at all?
1,500 Earths in the sun, or whatever crap they say. It's nothing like that. That's to distract you away from the truth. That's what this place does. It's meant to keep you away from truth, get you bogged down with being on Facebook and watching the playoffs tonight and all this other stuff.
So you're saying like the sun's like a filament? That's like
Yeah, and that's why it gets hot. It's not like a gaseous fusion ball in outer space. You know, it's something that's local and close, and as it travels further away, just like these light posts, they're not getting shorter. You're just walking further away from them, and that's why it looks like it's dipping below the horizon. They're not coming, the sun's not going underneath you. It's just traveling further away from you, and now the sun is going to be over let's see, it goes this way, so it's going to be over Australia. So as it gets further away, your perspective of it, it gets lower on the horizon. It just travels further away.
All right, guys.
So hey, man, we'll see you.
Thanks for coming by, Ben.
Take care, man. So, you know, and then the moon has a relationship with the sun also. And so every certain amount of times they're going to interact with each other. And what I think in Eclipse is there's a third darker entity that we can't see.
There's sources for any of this.
I have a
7 years of research, bro.
I mean, I know, but you gotta have reputable.
I got a question.
It all comes off the top of my head, man.
A lot of it is
'Cause I've
done
been-
with stuff that you can test yourself.
You can totally look this
I
up.
have a question about
yourself.
the sun. So,
Yeah.
the sun, we see it as a circle. If it was, do you think that the sun is a sphere or flat?
It could be either or, but just because the balls on the pool table are spheres, does that make the pool table a sphere?
But do you think that the moon is flat or a sphere?
It could be, but it's an aberration also. Neither the moon or the sun, I feel, are physical objects that can be landed on or gone to or whatever they show us on movies and TV.
We see so much detail on the moon, but you don't think that's like actually there? It's like when you zoom in with the telescope and you see all the craters and stuff, what do you think that is?
Well, something in the sky, man, because I can't go in there and verify any of it. And we're taught stuff in school that we're supposed to believe, or we won't pass our classes and go into debt by going to college and then learning something that we can't ever verify. So as much as school and it has the science books, the church has the Bible and everything else it does. Both things come from the same type of thought because they have to get everybody involved into something and compartmentalize everybody's mind into something.
Is this not the same thing?
No, it's not, because I know that the Earth is flat because when water is contained
Right, but there's
and
still a
at
group of
rest,
people
it
that
lays level and
subscribe
flat.
to this thought like a religion at this point. I mean, it's like the same idea, right?
I have a question.
What do you mean, though?
I mean,
Like-
think about it. There's a group of people that are subscribing to the same sort of thought,
Yeah, like me.
like you, right?
Yeah.
But how is that different from religion or science?
Well, it is science.
Sure.
This is science because this can be testable and verified by you, me, him, and everybody else.
Sure, but you're saying the other experiments that we're running are not verifiable.
Who's we?
Let's just say the greater scientific.
But who's we?
Let's say, I don't know, universities and colleges.
Okay,
or
but what are-
physics? Let's just say like California Institute of Technology that's running physics labs for stuff like this. They're using like lasers to literally like figure out if things are actually curved on the Earth or not. They've done studies on this and published some research papers. Have you gone through their data at all and like to refute any of their points and like have contestable responses to their points or not?
I hear where you're coming from. I totally understand what you're saying because I was at the same spot as you. But what are you doing?
Sure, I don't have to do anything.
Okay.
I'm just reading
Right.
most of the information that I'm getting. That's
Totally, and I get that.
comparing, contrasting.
And there's people who go to the building over there where they teach how the Quran and everything.
Sure.
And then there's a church over there, and then they teach the Bible.
Sure.
And that guy walked on water, and that's a belief. Is that fair enough to say?
Sure.
Okay, so you believe, no offense,
Sure.
that man walked on the moon.
I mean, I don't necessarily have to.
Okay, but is it fair enough to say that you would lean more towards them landing on the moon than a man walking on water?
Yeah. I would
Okay,
say so.
but you can't verify either of those things, right?
I mean, yeah, I guess not unless I.
Let's just be real here.
Like the rock samples that they got.
Let's be real. Can you go to the moon? Because I can't and he can't.
As of current, no.
Okay, so is it fair enough to say, and I don't want to put words in your mouth,
Right.
are you in a faith-based system?
No, I wouldn't think so.
Okay, but what have you done to verify any of the things that you've read?
To verify the things.
Yeah,
that
what
I
have you done to verify the claims that you read
So
in school?
I can say what I
Yeah.
do in school. So we were in high school even. We've had experiments where you like drop an object, it goes down, and we find that it accelerates because we record the time intervals.
Yep.
So it accelerates down at 9.8 meters per second squared. You're saying that that's why would that be a pressure-based system then?
Well, because it's just falling. That doesn't mean anything. The reason why you would believe and I would believe this idea of gravity is because I was taught it by people that were here before me, and then they say the reason why things fall to the ground is because of this.
Okay, but if I'm taught that when I grow up,
I have no other resource to verify why things fall to the ground, because I was already taught that before I could even not hear it and learn something on my own. So the reason why they do that is because they have to name things and claim it and then teach it to you, and then they have the real knowledge. It's called Gnosticism. It's hidden knowledge.
So we have satellites orbiting in space.
Who's we?
NASA.
You don't have anything,
Yeah.
right?
NASA.
Okay.
How does like GPS works because there's 3 satellites connected to your phone at any time? How does that work?
That's not how it works. GPS works on triangulation of ground positioning system. So you know what a
But it has
ground
to reflect
position?
off of something.
No, it's just communication between line of sight. That's how ground towers work, and that's how your cell phones work, is by line of sight.
Sure, but triangulation. This is wait, hold
Yeah,
on.
on the ground. So you have one here, one here, one here. So they're all communicating with each other, and they're bouncing off different towers. When you watch forensic files, for example, and they're like, hey, you know, so-and-so was, you know, in this area, and we know this because their cell phone bounced off the tower.
Right.
You never hear them say it bounced off the satellite.
That is a TV show, is it not?
No, it's based on real events because it's called forensic files, and they show you how they solve cases for murder through like
You
evidence.
can't take that at the face value. I mean, you just said this for the same argument for our research. Right? That's what I'm saying. You can't
No,
take
it's
that.
but if you look up what GPS is, that's what it is. It's ground positioning system. It has nothing to do with satellites or anything. And satellites aren't real anyways. This is a satellite in space. This is what they give you of satellites in space.
Sure.
Google it.
You've seen it on the ground, though, have you not?
Yeah, this is a satellite on the ground. And when it's on the ground, it looks pretty realistic.
Right.
But this gets connected to a high altitude balloon.
Right. High altitude.
60,000 feet.
Can I ask one last
Yeah,
question?
go ahead, man.
Just because we're kind of running
Yeah,
out of
no
time.
problem. We'll be here for a while.
At night, I can zoom in with a telescope,
Mhm.
see planets, and depending on when I look at these planets, they're completely different. So it's safe to assume these planets are spherical because they have sides that repeat.
Well, there's no way that you can tell something is a sphere unless you go around it. Otherwise, it's always going to look like a flat disc.
No, but if you shoot light
If-
at it,
if
you
we
can
see it-
figure out the angle that.
If like day to day, I can see it shifting slightly, and then it repeats every so often, it's safe to assume that object is a sphere, right?
Okay, so let's say that you're right, it's a sphere. That doesn't make Earth a sphere.
But why would Earth, if we see all these places, we don't know how far they're in the system, we don't know how far they are, and we can see that they're spherical because the places keep rotating, and certain areas move faster than other areas, showing curvature of these other planets in outer space. Why can we not extrapolate that to our own planet and say that this is not a sphere as well?
That's a dangerous game to play because you don't want to assume because something is this that everything is that. That's like going to some place and saying, "Oh, there's a black duck. I've never seen a black duck before." Then all ducks are black. You know, that's a like not a very logical way to go about this type of investigation. Because if someone was to believe that they did live here on this globe, the only way you could ever prove that you live here is to see it from this perspective. You can't be on the ground and say, "Hey, look, I'm looking at the sky. The Earth is a globe." That's where I'm coming from. We gotta be real with ourselves. When I lay down at night, I can't think, "Hey, the Earth is a globe," because I read a book about it. You know, I have to be honest with myself and say, I can't do this, I can do this, I can verify this, I can't verify that. And that's why people have faith in things. They have to have faith in something. Whether it's being an atheist, believing in Jesus Christ, Muhammad, Joseph Smith, whatever it is, they have to believe in something because we got to find meaning, right? And so they took our meaning away from us by telling us we lived here when we really live on a very localized environment, like a terrarium, and we're very special.
Do you believe that all like tens of thousands of NASA workers are all under like tight
No,
secret
not
and
at
they're
all.
not allowed to say anything?
No, because they don't know any better. They don't know any, but just like I'm a cook, I work at a restaurant. I only know certain parts of my position. I can't go over to the salad guy and start making salads because I don't know salads. I wasn't taught salads. I can't go over to the fryer and start throwing, you know, stuff into the fryer because I don't know fryer. I'm only stuck to making burgers and sandwiches. And until they feel like they can trust me, until they feel like they vetted me, just like you guys, like I'm sure you vetted each other. That's why you hang out with each other, because you guys are cool with each other, right? You have to vet people out. And so until you have a certain like way about how you carry yourself, they're gonna look at you and be like, hey, you know what? He might be able to lie to the public on purpose.
Do you feel that like all graduate level physicists are all under collective lie?
No, they just don't know any better, because astrophysicists are never going to do what they claim is real, in a sense. You know, let's be honest, right? Like they talk about the solar system and all these different galaxies and stuff, but they're never going to go there. They even rely on astronauts to do those things. They rely on other people to do those things. So in the government, it's all compartmentalization and kind of like, hey, they did this, and I'm researching it, so then that must be real. You know, so if it seems tangible, then because I'm reading books and I was taught it in school and blah, 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 then I can believe it.
Sure.
But really, the only verifiable thing is to say, hey, you know what? Did you know that I went to Thailand in 2015? Now you could say, okay, cool, yeah, but I could be BSing you.
Yeah.
Right? You don't know. But what if I started showing you images of me with other Thai people?
I guess that helps.
Right, that helps. Or you could be a conspiracy theorist, right? Be like, hey, those people are CGI. Those people aren't real. That's really a green screen, and you were really here in Minnesota. And you're like, you could go down this rabbit hole, right? Or you could just believe me. That's easy. Right?
I think we're running out of time.
Yeah, we're running out of
Yeah,
time.
check out my YouTube channel, Authentic Content on YouTube, guys. So
thank
take
you.
care, guys. Maybe we'll see you around. Later. Oregon. All right, guys. That was quick. What's up, chat? Mike, Travis, Jeff, anybody else in the chats?
Good chats today.
Yeah, you know, reasonable.
Reasonable people.
Still got our memes on the ground, right? It's good. Nobody's vandalized them. Nobody's censored us yet. So, let's see how that all goes. We'll start packing it up here, because I got like a 50-minute bike ride home.
And then you want to see the game.
On the e-bike. Yeah, I gotta watch the game. Gotta watch the Lakers.
Game.
The Laker game. Oh, why are you shaking your head, sir? You're disappointed in me? I didn't study hard enough and write down those questions and answers. How dare you? He's disappointed in me. Boomers. Boomers disappointed in me. Pretty funny. Pretty funny stuff. Pretty funny. So, yeah, well, let me wrap it up here. Give you this guy. You can scan that guy at your own leisure. Download Flat Earth app.
Are you gonna start posting these to YouTube, you think?
Yeah, I just need time to edit them and put them on the tubes. I just got that 10-minute video up last night.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. So, show everybody what we got here. We got like, this is our table here, so when you're walking, you can see the meme on the sidewalk there. And if you walk down this way, got the walk path here. Oh, we got a little bump there. Oh, we'll just spray paint it. We won't fix it. We'll just spray paint it. That's why this place sucks. So there we go. Got that guy. Got this guy. You just keep walking, then you'll see this meme. I guess I should grab it. Hold on here. Make more sense. wrap it up. Miles is showing them the meme down there. There's this one here. I like this one. This one's fun. When you ask a glober how much they know about their own model, get like the tiny book.
Well, because then if you have to question everything you believe or were taught in school, because it matters, because it's huge lies, you know, reinforced throughout all of your years of schooling.
Does it change how you live your life?
Yeah, it does. It changes your life. And you start to relearn things that you start to realize more lies being told, and you know, you start to ask the right questions.
Yeah, no, I can see where
you do you know that we believe the Earth was a globe also?
What?
Did you know that we also believe the same thing you did also? Like, we grew up here. We're not from another planet.
Yeah, no, I
Okay.
respect your point of view. For me, it just doesn't matter if it's flat or round.
Okay. Would it matter if, no offense, if she was cheating on you?
We're not together.
Okay, well, if you were together, would it matter if your girlfriend or wife was cheating on you?
Sure. That's
Okay.
a bigger problem.
That's a big problem, right? So, do you feel like you have a relationship with this place that you live?
Yeah.
Whether
Yeah,
it's an
yeah,
Earth?
you get a
Okay,
point, you get
is
a
that
point.
fair enough?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so what if I told you, for example, you're growing up in a household and then your family, your parents tell you that you were adopted? Would that matter?
Sure.
Okay. So what we're suggesting is that we thought the Earth was a globe, we thought it was our home, and then we found out that it's not.
I see.
So you have to realize how big the lie is and discover the truth.
And look at how much effort they're putting in to lie to you, and me, and her, and him, and everybody else.
Around the world, so.
And they use movies and TV. Like, movies and TV are a very good example of outer space and how they propagandize. So, yeah, we'll see you around, man. Yeah, take care.
You too.
Yeah. Why does it matter? What were you showing them? All the memes?
Yeah, this one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's the
Yeah.
one.
Which
then he
cartoon do you believe you live on?
Said, yeah, I've seen that before.
Oh, yeah?
And I said, yeah, what? Don't you think it's weird? They're all different colors and shapes and
Right?
sizes.
Did you find that a bit odd?
And he's like, why does it matter? I mean,
Oh, okay.
how do they make it?
All right, everybody. So I'm gonna put the spy glasses on, so if anybody else shows up, I'll just post that. Otherwise, I don't want to take up too much of your time. We're gonna wrap it up here. So thanks, Miles.
Thanks, y'all.
Thanks, everybody in the chat. And we'll see you soon for more on Authentic Intent.
Peace.